Is it? All right, here we go.
Initiating match.
All right, everybody, welcome to Ilios, our first match of tonight's best of 5 series between the Rebellion and the... Shoot, I should know team names.
I just know they're Philly.
The Rebellion and the Philadelphia Plague, the Washington Rebellion and the Philadelphia Plague. We have on the blue team will be the Plague and red is the Rebellion. Looks like we're gonna see a dive comp come out from Philadelphia and a sort of Doomfist Pharmacy comp from the Rebellion. Looks like Rebellion are going to take some space aggressively here, really bully this Winston out here on the point. They've already used Bubble and look, there's already rewarded with an elimination. We're going to go in to clean up the rest of these kills here. Trapped inside the small room, the Doomfist is hacked. Looks like Scomo's looking to get a pick on this Genji, but he gets away. And Rebellion will have stabilized, and the point will go to them.
I wonder what their plan is to deal with the Pharah. Seems like they're not gonna opt for a hit scan here.
They do have the D.Va swap coming out, so I think that might be their solution, but they're really gonna have to put in a lot of work to get that one. Zerlin does get very low, but an excellent peel from Tank over here on the side of the Rebellion. They're managing to force their way onto point, but it looks a little bit sloppy. And I think the Pharah of Essel will just, go and tear this backline apart. Both the Brig and the Ana will fall, and looks like D.Va's up next. And the point will remain safely in the hands of the Rebellion here.
Just gonna say, we have the barrage online for Pharah. I think they might want to opt for the hit scan, because it seems like the dive comp, they just don't have anyone to go on War. All the characters are really mobile.
Yeah, I think if anything, Kiriko would be your target, but you have to have a nice hack to prevent the Swift Step or the Suzu on there. So I really would like to see a swap or to have Minky do something about this really quickly. Trapped in this small room, looks like Meteor Strike is going to come out. Can he secure a pick on this? Yes, Walrus does fall. And Shinizuki is next. With no backline, this looks like it's going to be over pretty quickly. No need to invest the barrage here. Path does come down, and the fight will be cleaned up. We're moving into last fight territory here. Several ults on both teams will be available.
Still don't have EMP yet.
If Scomo can get his EMP up, that would be a huge fight-winning ultimate. But they have to touch first. And Scomo does dip his toes on the point and is able to... No, it's a little bit too early, and Foliage falls in his attempt to touch last second. So Rebellion just pulled them off the point.
Ready for battle.
Curious to see if they stick to the Pharah now. It is a bit more open, and there is longer sight lines here. So I wonder if this will be the map that they can test the Pharah here more.
I hope they put up a fight.
A little bit of BMs in chat, but Lucio swap coming out here for both teams. Yeah, it looks like the Plague are going to go more towards a sort of rush style comp with the D.Va for peeling to deal with this bar over here. The Soldier 76 as their hit scan of choice. Aizen hacked falls very low, but is able to stabilize with the help from Zerlin. Taking a lot of damage from the side of the Rebellion. Minky does fall low as well, gets stunned by the Doomfist. Yeah, the Pharah is putting in a lot of work here. Foliage and Minky takes a lot of damage here. But they're able to take out the soldier. And the D.Va as well, with no jump jets, just booped off the map. Sinatsuki will be able to pick one up onto Aizen as a consolation, but it's not going to help them win the fight. Unable to stop the res with a hack there, Aizen is brought right back, and they're at full strength here to contest for next time.
And Ward definitely seems to be leading the charge in ultimate economy here. Gonna be coming up on that barrage again soon, and we almost have Meteor Strike.
Yeah, with their team being all grouped up here, I'm wondering if yes, there's the barrage, but an excellent hack from ScoMo, and this is now the opportunity they're looking for. Without the main damage source, the Pharah, this should be able to secure, and they take out Zerlin. Meteor Strike comes in but doesn't find anybody. And Minky's able to take out Lank in the back line. Aizen gets hacked and he falls as well. And this is just going to be an escape from Doomfist on the side of Rebellion. And yeah, very swift turnaround there. Excellent hack from ScoMo, because went in for that barrage. They were all grouped up and it was perfect timing, but just couldn't capitalize off it and fell.
Now that Philly has some tempo on their side. Ooh, and he gets a far again. I was gonna say this might be what they needed.
Unable to be denied. Coalescence out, D.Va Bomb, Dragon's Blade, and Path invested. ScoMo's low. He falls. Aizen gets cleansed by the Suzu here, and he's able to stay alive. Minky looks like, yep, Minky's gonna get eliminated on the point, and Sinatsuki will just make the run back to spawn here as the point flips back over to the side of the Rebellion. They do have that EMP for next fight though, and if they can get back before the Meteor Strike is invested, or the barrage, then I think they should be able to take that one. But DPS staggers very late will allow them to build up to probably that Meteor Strike and maybe the barrage for next fight. I'm a little bit worried about this one. They could be walking into a trap here, the Plague.
Like to see a big EMP come out here. That's what they're gonna need to flip this point, I think.
Catches Doom over here, but he's able to use his Meteor Strike to get out. Grabs the Mega, but it's too late. Zerlin and Aizen have already fallen to the tactical visor of Foliage. Barrage invested too, but just finds one. And the point will get flipped over to the side of the Plague here. Late kill onto the Doomfist here will ensure enough time for the Plague to get back to the point, but it is going to be close. Ultimate advantage is kind of even right now. All we have is a Valkyrie from the side of Zerlin, and which he uses here. Wallace and Sinatsuki falling low in the backline. Foliage and Zerlin trade, and it looks like, oh, Minky gets punched off the map again with a lack of jump jet. And looks like Sinatsuki is just going to help taxi Walrus away from the point. And he gets picked in the process. ScoMo falls as well and flips back over to the side of the Rebellion. 90% here. Somebody's got to touch. Sinatsuki is able to dip his toes onto the point again, but he falls to the Genji. And Minky gets DMAC just very quickly, barrage out, and that's going to be it, I think. ScoMo might be able to stall for like a tiny bit longer, but it's not going to change the outcome of this game, as it's clearly headed in the Rebellion's favor.
And that's map 1 in the books. Easel's definitely very impressive on the Pharah.
Yeah, I do like the Soldier 76 swap, but I don't think it was enough. Just weren't able to shut down that far enough. Come in with some huge barrage kills and just generally early picks on the backline that ensured the fight win landed with the Rebellion.
Even the few picks they did manage to get on the Pharah, I just feel a lot of the time that Soldier's also being pressured by the Doom, and he doesn't have the the Mercy pocket or a pocket healer with him, so he's just getting pressured out and he's not able to find the value that they need him to find, and then the Pharah is just able to get away with whatever she wants.
Heading into King's Row, what do you think the Plague need to do differently to turn this one to their favor?
They run a really mobile comp, the Rebellion, so I don't think going dive is gonna be the answer, because they don't have any targets to really engage on except, like you said, the Kiriko, but it doesn't seem to be happening. So I think maybe giving the hitscan players that pocket might be enough to turn the tide. I did like the Diva pick to help suppress the rockets, but it just didn't seem to be enough. So I think going forward, maybe seeing the Mercy or maybe even seeing double hitscan come out, that might be what it takes for them to flip this match around.
Do you think we could see a Widow come out onto King's Row, or with the pressure from the Doomfist and the Pharah, do you think it'll just be too much onto the Widow to be able to hold here?
I think being on the defensive side, they might be able to get away with the Widow. She might be able to take safer like lines of sight, and she definitely has the high ground advantage, being able to set up there early, so she could choose to rotate early. So I think she could get away with it if she plays, safe and aware of the Doom. So I think Widowmaker could be an option here.
Looks like an Ashe will be the answer from the side of the Plague, which I do like, but no Pharah in sight for the Rebellion. Quick pause here as the Rebellion sorts something out on their end. I do like this look from the Rebellion with the fast-paced DPS heroes they're playing, but I am wondering if they get caught in the choke by the Mei wall, they are going to be in big trouble. If Foliage is able to create a lot of space with Minky in the front line and just let Danger Noodle go off from these high grounds that he has access to with the coach gun, then I think the Plague can full hold here with this comp. But it's going to come down to whether Aizen or Issel can get a pick on their respective dive heroes with the support of the Reinhardt. So
yeah,
I think it's really going to come down to DPS here. What can they do for their team? What were you going to say?
I just hope now that they're off the Pharah that the Ashe also doesn't become the Phillies' detriment, as if she coach guns too early or is out of position with the speed coming out from the Washington, Aizen and Issel will definitely be able to pounce on the Ashe as a target. So I'm curious to see how it plays out now.
Yeah, I'm wondering why Danger Noodle hasn't set up here on the high ground, maybe in the back right of the point. Looks like they're going to come out really fast, look to get through this choke as quickly as possible, and avoid the Mei wall. Yeah, already pressuring onto point. Minky is caught out, has to use his charge defensively, and he just falls immediately. Nice wall, but it's a bit too late. Aizen trades for Minky, but no tank. That's a huge loss for your team. And it looks like they're just going to be able to force away. Reinhardt keeps this choke. Oh, huge Mei wall comes in, and it looks like Jesus? Jesus. I don't know. He's going to fall.
Get a recontest here.
We'll get a recontest here. Yep. A flank angle coming out for Danger Noodle, and he's able to stay alive despite the Genji dive with that lamp from Walrus to keep him up. And they're just narrowly able to sneak back onto the point here. Aizen does swap the Tracer for the Cassidy, maybe looking to take some picks onto Danger Noodle in the backline. But he does fall to Foliage immediately. Wall comes out, you're stuck, and Minky gets a pin onto Issel, and this is going to be the fight win for them. And all they have to do now is clean up. He does manage to escape back into spawn. Another swap for Aizen over to the Sojourn here, and Issel onto the Mei. Looks like they're going to try to play this one a little bit slow. Maybe look, counter wall.
Both Baps have Widow online.
Shatter invested, but the team is not there to back it up. Oh, they're able to get around with the Lucio speed and clean that one up really, really quickly. Nice Shatter from Minky. Able to save the Blizzard here for next fight.
Good to say. Philly keeping a good tempo here. They have Blizzard online, Bob's coming up, and Beat's on the way.
Beat for both teams coming up here. And I would like to say, lack of DPS ultimates due to the swap for the side of the Rebellion is going to give the advantage over to the Plague, as they're going to have so much more pressure. With using this Blizzard here, able to clean up once again. Is it going to be late stagger onto the Rhine here? Wall over to ensure it, and yes, he does fall in the end. Aizen swaps back onto the Genji. I'm not liking how many swaps these guys are doing. Just throwing their ultimates in the trash.
And Minky about to have a second Shatter, just as Jesus is about to have his first.
Yeah, beats for both sides will be crucial here for both the Shatter and the Bob that I expect to see during this fight. Yep, all 4 ultimates invested. Dynamite out. Wall splits the team off, and Zerlin does fall. Aizen able to narrowly escape with his life. Jesus falls as well, Lank as well, and oh, late Blizzard invested for nothing here. That's gotta hurt. Now, the Rebellion have nothing. They are completely down to scraps with only a minute left, whereas the Plague are coming up on their window and they already have that Shatter available. Swap over to the Pharah and Mercy desperation play here, looking for a pick to maybe secure the fight. They are garnering a lot of space with this Mercy pharmacy comp, but it's maybe too little too late. Walled off, and it looks like the Reinhardt of Jesus will fall. Minky steps back onto the point and is able to force them away. However, Essel does get a pick onto Danger Noodle. Essel gets a Walrus as well. 3 for Essel. And they might be able to clean this one up. Oh, Minky's able to step back on the point. Rez comes out onto Link. There are now 4v1, and they're able to take it with only 7 seconds left in the bank.
All right, and now we're asking the same question again. How are we going to deal with this farm, Mercy? It was looking like a completely different world, and now here we are, back to the same question.
Swap onto the Zarya comes out for the Plague, which is quite interesting since you lose that Rhine shield, which can provide a lot of coverage. But Foliage gets the snipe onto Essel. They are going to have the res come out here, but that's a powerful cooldown used already. Walls force them back. Essel is in the back line though, just raining these rockets down. Ice block forced from Foliage. They do have Blizzard here, and I'm wondering if they're going to invest this. Yep. Blizzard comes out looking to secure the Rhine, but the Barrage comes out as well. Takes down Foliage, and Danger Noodle's already out. Lamp's able to keep Sinatsuki and Minky up for just a short time, but they too will eventually fall here. Walrus is sort of just in a desperation here. He knows that it's the end.
It's just so rough playing against the Pharah too on Street's phase. She has so much cover with the rooftops, and she's basically playing vertical right over the hitscan's head, so it's really hard to get the pick that they need to burst the fight open.
I do like that they're holding up here to keep them away, but I think they're giving Minky a lot of charge here. Shatter comes out, catches 3, and that's going to be 2 converted into picks before the beak come off. And that seems like it will turn the tide of the fight, and once again, Rebellion are able to take it, pushing it over the line here, forcing it to final point here. Walrus does make the swap onto the Ana off the bat. Moves over to the Kiriko as well, and Foliage onto the Cassidy, going to double hit scans here to deal with this Pharah vessel.
Minky coming up on grab. I think they'll need to get a good grab off to stop the tempo here of Washington.
Bob comes out, able to push them back at least for a time, but looks like Rebellion are just able to avoid that one relatively well. Valkyrie pop for Zerlin. Both Zerlin and Essel fall low. They're caught in the grab. Danger Noodle gets 2, traded out for Sinatsuki. Mickey's in the front line with a huge charge. Foliage gets to pick onto Aizen. Oh, I really like that.
Said he
Yeah,
was gonna take one with him.
seeing the high charge Zarya and just deciding, you know, I'm gonna set you back to 0 charge, even though it's not gonna change the fact that you'll be back for next fight. It will change how you are playing for next fight. Pushing up to the corner, this looks like it's gonna be an opportunity perhaps for a high noon from Foliage, but they're gonna have to deal with the shield first. Barrage in the back line takes out 2, but Essel gets traded out by Danger Noodle. Zerlin falls to Foliage, but a Shatter picks up 2 on the side of the Rebellion. Mickey's the last one alive, gets peeked. Yeah, Walrus gets that late Susu TP onto Minky, but he just ends up getting forced back to spawn regardless, and they aren't able to do anything but just let the cart go to finish line.
Switching sides.
You gotta expect they come out with some kind of double hit scan comp to deal with this.
I kind of want to see an Ana just to kind of help keep the Pharah in check. You also then gain a strong ultimate with Nano that could really help your front line. I was gonna say Minky was definitely putting in work. It just seemed like there's only so much he could do to help combat the Pharah Mercy. So I think I would like to see an Ana. I think that's what I would like to see on the Philly side.
Yeah, regardless of what support they do end up playing with Walrus on their flex support, I think they just need to be playing a bit faster. The amount of damage that Essel has been able to put out with these Pharah rockets before the fight even starts between the front lines is flipping the advantage to them. If they can go quickly, maybe use a nice speed boost onto certain backline targets for the Rebellion, then Plague will be able to take this first point, I think. Yeah, rolling out on the double hit scans here for Danger Noodle and Foliage. Up against the Pharmacy again. They're able to close off the space to the choke very quickly and push through with a lack of a Mei. Aizen falls early! I wonder if the res is going to be invested here, or they're just going to let it go. Ryan's traded space, but it looks like Jesus kind of caught out. Suzu nice there to protect him, and he falls back to point. Minky takes a lot of space here. It's kind of separated. Danger Noodle picks off Zerlin. That's a key pick here, and it looks like they will stabilize and be able to take this point. They're coming in for the recontest for the Rebellion, though. However, Essel does fall last second as well. Able to take this choke and just force them off the point to take the first capture with... Oh, there they go. Yep, and they're able to secure it.
That was a very decisive first fight. I like it.
Yeah, I think the fact that they got that pick onto Aizen and just went very quickly was able to secure him that fight. If they gave any more time to the Mercy, she might have been able to res. But they're just able to create a lot of pressure very quickly. Window invested on the side of the Plague, but Shatter counter, Shatter Barrage, and they just clean up the front line there. All 5 fall within a matter of seconds. Are they gonna go for a spawn camp? Oh, this is nasty stuff from the Rebellion here.
I was gonna say, having to deal pushing it that far, just it's gonna be painful.
Aizen does fall again very early in this fight. However, they all grouped up. Sound barrier invested. There's going to give him a lot of safety from the Pharah, and Zerlin does fall as a reward, but they do trade Minky out as well.
Oh.
Path invested here for the Rebellion. It looks like they're going to go for this 2v3. Suzu out onto Jesus here. Foliage does get the pick onto the Ryan, and Lenk is going to fall here unless he can get picked up by somebody. It's going to be a very, very late kill onto the Kiriko, giving him a lot of space to push through these streets. Yeah, if Aizen falls here early, that'll be huge, 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 huge. He does fall to half, but is able to get back. Zerlin, however, does get picked, and they're just going to take this choke very, very easily, feels like almost fighting a 5v4 Plague.
was gonna say, War might not get a chance to contest this as 5. Or at all. Oh.
Solo Shatter comes out, and they're pushed off the edge. However, Length does get taken out by the Deadeye there. And, yeah, Resurrect, this is not a good trade. However, they do get the cart progress here, which is the important bit. If they can close this out very quickly, it doesn't really matter how scrappy the fight is. They've got so much time left in the bank, and with 3 ultimates to 2, I think they just have to kind of brute force this one.
We do see a Hog come out from War.
And a swap onto the Widow as well. They're rewarded with a pick on the Danger Noodle very quickly though. Dragon Blade comes out, but shattered immediately, and that's shut down very quickly. Foliage does die to the hook, but it seems like they might be able to stabilize on the Rebellion end and take this fight. Yep, Walrus does fall to the Widow of Essel. Nice Suzu onto the Hog here just to force them out. And it looks like Minky and Shinizuki will back up here to regroup with the rest of their team. You have to look at Bob here as the fight-winning ultimate. If they can get down a good Bob before Path and Whole Hog get online, then that should be fight in the bag. But a pick onto Shinizuki will start the fight off. Danger Noodle falls as well. Nano was invested during that fight, but they get nothing out of it. 2 for Jesus on the Whole Hog here, and Walrus is just going to make his quiet escape back to spawn. Very clean fight from the side of the Rebellion here. Only 1 ult invested, and they did shut down the Nano Rhine, I believe. Sight's now invested for the Rebellion, keeping them off to the side. Foliage does take a body shot, but he's able to back out. And those sights are now offline, so they're safe to push in. Oh! Huge hook onto Minky, and that's able to get a pick. Bob invested here. Looks like Essel is getting poked out by the Bob, but he's able to just hide in the corner. Danger Noodle does find him with the Bob, though, in the end, and Foliage gets a pick onto Link. Eisen burns to death very quickly. It looks like they're going to go for the res onto Essel, but he's not able to get it off as Danger Noodle comes up big once again. And now it's just the Hog here, which does fall in the end as well. 2 minutes 30, pushing into the last point. We're going to come up on a Shatter, a High Noon, and a Beat versus just really much a Path and Valk. Swap onto the ball for the side of the Rebellion. Get one last touch. Shatter invested onto Essel, and Link falls as well. Oh, no, Link is able to escape quickly with the Suzu, but he does fall in the end as well. Ball slipped on point, and this will probably be it. Nobody else will be up to contest. Oh, Tracer from Essel does touch, but it looks like that's just not going to be enough. Very decisive, like, first 2 points from the Plague, just give them such a time bank to work with in the end. They're able to just like brute force their way onto the full capture.
I was gonna say that looked like night and day there. It looks like when Philly gets their footing, they can really make an impression against this War team. We actually did see the swap off the Farm Mercy. They did force Essel to swap. So I'm curious to see, with only a minute left, is War gonna come out and try to force the comfort pick on the Farm Mercy, or are they going to opt for something else?
Yeah, I think a stat you really have to look at is the 15-8 and 19-7 for Danger Noodle and Foliage compared to Essel's 16-15 and Eisen's 4-15. Really just, Eisen's been getting picked over and over at the beginning of each fight, and I think they're just giving them this constant 5v4 that they're able to work with and just take a ton of space really aggressively off this Ryan Lucio comp. I think you just kind of have to play it a little bit safer if you're Eisen here. Work the angles on your Cassidy here and try to get a pick rather than just come up with a hero play.
And we do see they're going to roll out on a Ramatra here. Of course, Annihilation, a huge ultimate that could change the tide of fights. So that's definitely going to be huge in the ult economy bank.
Yeah, with only a minute left, he's going to have to put in a lot of work to get that one up. They're just going to run straight to point and try to brawl it out here. Moira putting in a lot of heals. for the side of the Rebellion. And Aizen is doing a nice job about staying back here, but he does fall to Shinizuki once again. He's the first pick for the fight. And it looks like Essel is just gonna runch down the Rhine of Minky with the help of Jesus. He's able to pick up Danger Noodle as well. Foliage does take out the Rhine on the way out, but it's going to be a quite convincing first fight to the side of the Rebellion. Only Foliage and Walrus remain to contest this. I wonder if they will step on the point or just back off. Yep, Blank finds the pick with that Moira Orb, and they're just going to have to reset. We are going into overtime here, so I'd like to see the Plague try to fight around this corner where the bookstore is. Just really hold them here. Use the Rhine to your advantage, set your DPSs up on high ground and let them go to work.
Both teams coming up on some ults here. Looks like we're gonna have Window, High Noon, Shatter for Philadelphia. And we have Cole and Annihilation coming up on the side of War.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to go for a Coalescence engage. Minky does find a really early pick onto Aizen once again. Annihilation comes out, Lamp is broken by the Coalescence here. High Noon comes out, but is it really going to find anybody? 2 from the backline from Foliage, that's huge! And the Shatter comes out as well. Jesus falls, Essel as well, and that's going to be it. Wow, that was a huge flank High Noon from Foliage there. Really just flipped the side, the fight side, like, in a blink of an eye, really.
3 to 4. Switching sides.
Yeah, I
do
lost
think
it for a
you're
moment. Go ahead.
I do think you're definitely right, though, on the side of War. I think if they want to keep this in their hands, Aizen definitely has to be careful about getting picked here, especially on defense with the time bank that Philly has built up. He does seem to be leaving his team in that 4v5 situation just a little too often.
I wonder if they're gonna roll out with something like a Sim Mei. Oh, yep, there it is. I really just got to bunker down here on this first point. Make sure that the Plague cannot set a foot on the point here. Yeah, I like this coming out from the Rebellion. I think this is a smart play. If you really got to put like the foot down and say you're not going to get a single tick of capture, it's got to be the Sim Mei comp here. Yeah, I'm looking at Danger Noodle and Walrus to maybe put a pick up on the board here as a way to work in, but they're holding quite far back on the point here. Rebellion are. So yeah, I mean, like, not much you're going to be able to do without really putting yourself out there as well.
Running this Sim Mei comp, though, they do fall victim to Farm Mercy. They do have, like, Philly does have the time bank to make some swaps here early if they catch on.
Bully just gets the pick onto Aizen again! Zerlin falls really, really low, but he's able to get topped up by Length. And Foliage does fall, traded out by both Meis down. Essel and Foliage fall. Dynamite comes out onto the back line of the Rebellion and finds Length. Now it's a 2v3. And Zerlin does fall to Danger Noodle. She's able to trade him out, however. But with the Ana of Walrus able to keep Minky alive, they're just going to be able to walk back onto this point with numbers advantage. Walled off, Aizen falls once again. Minky's just able to hold this choke here, make sure they can't touch. And it looks like they're going to get the capture here. Nice boot from Shinizuki, buys him a little bit of time, but he does fall as a result of it. Slept onto the Ramattra, and it looks like Zerlin's going to fall as well to the Mei. Minky finds up the Ramattra here. Essel's last alive on point. Aizen has returned at this point. Length falls in the back line to Danger Noodle. Aizen taken out by Foliage, and it's just Essel left, but he's run out of cooldowns, and the point will fall to the Plague.
And it looks like some of War got split spawns here.
This is really, really rough. I'd honestly like to see Plague run back, put 3 on the cart, and just run it into the.
I was gonna say, I think that would have.
They are being very sneaky over here. Link and Jesus up on the high ground, maybe looking to sneak around the back. Setting up sim turrets here for Aizen. The cart is slowly making its progress. Blizzard invests Annihilation from the side of Rebellion. Minky gets 2, was traded. Foliage and Minky come up huge with the 4 kills onto the Rebellion. And it now is just Jesus zoned off the point. Back in that choke. And Plague take map number 2. Up to 1-1 in our standings.
Play of the game.
I just think Plague looked quite clean there. They really able to turn it around. That second map, it was a little bit shaky the first side they went through, but after the swap they were able to come up with some changes and really just go a little bit faster and take those fights with an advantage after they got the picks with your double hits gank comp.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's definitely some back and forth there, but I think they definitely established themselves a lot more on that map. I'm not sure if we could attest that to just the more brawly nature of King's Row and sort of forcing war off that sort of split like Doom comp that they had. But they definitely had a lot better footing going into that map. That's for sure.
Yeah, coming up on Circuit Royale here, I have to say, Aizen, get your positioning in check, man. It's not going great for you today. I is assuming we are running out on the double sniper comps with the Sigma for both teams, but you can also have the opportunity to play dive on this point to counter the poke if that's something they've practiced. Quick pause coming in here for the side of the Plague. I think last time I had the pleasure of casting for the Plague, they did run the double sniper comp with the Sigma, but I have yet to see the Rebellions play on Circuit Royale.
I'm hoping to see double sniper from both teams. I think that'll be exciting. Philly, their dive on the first map looked a little shaky. They didn't really seem to have too much target coordination, so I'm not sure if that's something they want to opt for on this map. They might have a better chance, but I personally do want to see the double sniper come out.
Yeah, I think considering the Doom Pharah comp, it was a struggle for dive, but it was really quite a mess on their end. So I do agree with you that double snipers should be the play here. I'm also wondering if we're going to see a Ryan spawn hold, which would be pretty funny, but I don't anticipate seeing it today. And with 10 seconds left, we're going to get to see what these guys are up to.
Ready for battle.
Yep. I am surprised at the lack of a Widow for Plague here. But considering Danger Noodle's impressive performance on the Ashe last map, I can see it working out. Something I am a little bit concerned about is if Rebellion swap over to this double sniper comp, considering Danger one Ana versus two supports will let Jesus win this this Sigma duel if he decides to take it. Since one support is going to be on the Sigma here, and the Mercy is most likely going to be Danger Noodle's best friend. But they are going to roll out on this Doom dive comp once again.
And we do see a little Zenyatta action here. I'm always excited for that.
Yeah, I'm worried that Link's head is just going to get ripped off as soon as he comes around the corner. But quick kills for the side of the Rebellion, grabbing 3 in the back line. 4 now. Only the Sigma of Minky remains, and he's going to crush as well. Just a really quick turnaround for the side of the Rebellion.
Yeah, I'll say that was vicious. We do see a Zen coming out on the side of Philly, but I'm not sure if it's a great idea, just because without running the mobile dive heroes yourself, the Zen's gonna be really vulnerable against the Doom here. So I'm curious to see.
They do recognize the lack of any long-range DPS and make a swap onto the Hog. Danger Noodle falls very low here to the Tracer of Aizen. Just getting in so much free damage here. Phillies just find Lank, but with 1 meter left, are they going to be able to do anything about it? getting zoned off the point here. Only Foliage remains, and it seems like they're going to be able to cap there.
And I'm not sure how I feel about the hog pick here. Only because even though he can help peel with the hook of his, and he can be a nuisance to Genji and Tracer. Without a Kiriko for the cleanse, I think the Ana on the side of the war could make this really, really painful for Minky here if he's not careful where he plays.
Yeah, a good bio nade will really just shut down the Plague. They are swapped back over to the Pharmacy comp. Actually, Foliage is on the Pharmacy now, so we've had a swapped sides here. Zerlin falls really low in the backline to these Pharah rockets, but he's able to kind of just duck his head around the side and stabilize. Both teams looking for an advantage here. Lank does fall to Foliage, but Blade comes out for Essel. He gets one, falls really, really low, but he's able to recover here. Nice support from Zerlin, kind of carrying the team on his back right now. Meteor Strike comes out, and they're able to capitalize on that, getting the rest of Plague cleaned up, and they're probably going to be able to send it in to the second point with that fight in the bag. Yeah. Oh, a huge sleep. This could be an elimination. Yeah, he gets a little bit greedy on the Doomfist, and he falls, but point is already taken, so the Plague are going to just keep moving. The Rebellion are just going to keep moving forwards. Essel does get eliminated as well. Lank falls low as well. Danger Noodle coming up with 2 here. Aizen is fighting on the high ground with Foliage, but Walrus able to keep him nice and healthy. Miki does find Zerlin as well. They're just able to really keep this team contained here in this choke. With the damage that's coming out from the Pharah and the just presence of the Hog, there's not much you can do here.
And Philly definitely has the ult economy here to keep the game in their tempo now that they finally found their footing.
Foliage gets a pick onto Zerlin in the backline. Huge sleep onto Essel as well. Yeah, he gets traded as well. Lank does find Danger Noodle in the back though. So, Rez gonna come out and yeah, his elimination is just cancelled out. I would like to see a Nano come in here. Yep. Nano invests on the Doomfist. Tranquility comes out to, Transcendence comes out to negate the damage from this Bob of Danger Noodle. But it's gonna be a barrage here from Foliage. Comes up huge, gets 2. Now it's 2 to 3 in the advantage of the Plague. Aizen falls as well, and they're just able to stabilize off the back of that huge barrage from Foliage. Just Pharah putting in a lot of work this entire series so far.
Philly still has
Lank
both
falling
support
low.
ults.
Yeah, they were able to take that fight. Although it was relatively expensive, they were able to preserve the Nano, which I think was a powerful tool. Meteor Strike comes in looking for a pick here. Oh, but Minky finds Lank on the cart. Essel does trade off the Foliage. So with the Strut of the Pharah gone, they might be able to work with it, but they aren't able to stop the res. Aizen gets traded out as well. Plague is up in a 5v3. Both supports ults invested from the side of the Plague. Essel falls dangerously low on the Echo. Zerlin is actually the one to fall, losing the Ana duel. Essel as well gets picked by Minky and just gets a kill onto Foliage on the Pharah. He's just out here fighting by himself though. I don't know what else he's gonna be able to do. Yep, falls on the Doomfist. And we did say earlier, yeah, we did say earlier the Hawk was a questionable pick, but it seems to be working out for them.
That's what I was about to say. Even though he doesn't have cleanse, he is wreaking havoc in the backline.
Yeah, just the Zenyatta being so fragile is kind of hurting them. Copy of the Hog comes out and it's instantly taken out by Minky. Danger Noodle and Foliage each grab one onto the side of the Rebellion. Aizen falls as well. Lank is just narrowly going to be escaped with his life, but there's not much these guys are able to do. They've come up on another Bob and another Whole Hog into just a Transcendence, and it's actually going to be a Hog versus Hog matchup. It's very interesting. Oh, that's a huge anti. Yep. Incredible work from Sinatsuki there, just assuring the kill. Bob comes out. It looks like the Minky's going to push forwards and try to take another elimination here. Kind of dips back inside. Aizen on the Widowmaker now. grabs a pick, but it is rezzed. Zerlin takes Minky out, and Foliage falls as well to Eisen. Looks like the last minute Widowmaker swap was not something that the Plague were expecting. Just really caught out like vulnerable in that moment. Zenitsuki is killed late, trying to make his escape to high ground. Essel with a nice 1v1 win there. Looks like they are going to stick with this Pharah Mercy comp into the Widowmaker of Eisen. Danger Noodle picks up Zerlin here. Missed hook from Jesus and Minky. Just able to kind of like sit up on the high ground, but they will have to go contest card soon. Nanohog comes in. Whole Hog deletes the duplication of Essel. And there goes Essel as well. Eisen does get a pick onto Foliage and Danger Noodle. So it's traded out, but the res comes out from Walrus. Hogs are dueling in the open here around this corner. But Jesus gets hooked. Able to take a breather there and stabilize on the side of the Rebellion. I'd kind of like to see them take it a little bit slow. Maybe pop sights here. Look for a pick. Anti comes out onto Jesus. We're just gonna be looking for it. Eisen gets a pick onto Danger Noodle. Is Walrus gonna go for the res? Yes, he is. He's able to get the res, but Essel kills Zenitsuki during that. They are gonna walk this onto the end though. Somebody needs to step on the part to touch. Barrage for Foliage, but he's getting zoned away by the Whole Hog. And they just aren't able to get on the cart. Wow.
Yeah, I think there. If I was Foliage, he needed to get something done with that barrage earlier and swap. The Widowmaker and the sightlines on third point are just too oppressive, I think, to stay. I know he was trying to flank there, but I think best case you try to trade 1-for-1 just so you could get the swap. You could get some value out of the ultimate.
Yeah, I can see that happening. It just seemed like Rebellion put in their swaps. They thought about it long and hard, and they came up with a winning composition that the Plague were just too slow to change it up against. Oh, no, they're gonna go for it. The Plague. No, they're on attack. I was mistaken. I thought for a moment we might see a Lifeweaver Ryan spawn camp, but unfortunately, I'm looking at the wrong side here. Rolling out on the ball for the side of the Rebellion. I think this is an interesting pick, especially since we last saw Plague on the Pharah. And the Hog. I don't really know. Perhaps they're expecting a Zen.
I am a little curious about the Lifeweaver pick myself. Are they trying to pedal over the top, or are they just opting?
They're going up and over. They're going up and over. This is going to be really funny. If Lank is not ready for this, he's about to have a heart attack. Oh, they missed the grab! Oh, it's a disaster. Eisen picked off Foliage. And it looks like they are going to be able to get the res, but with Ball coming in just to secure that pick onto the Mercy, and it's all gone to shreds for the side of the Plague.
That was a little messy.
Here. They are going to move on to the Widowmaker instead of the Ashe, and over onto the Doomfist and the Zen instead of the Lifeweaver. Yeah, I wonder why Minky's on the Doomfist here. With this setup that as you see in a traditional kind of double snipers comp, the Sigma provides so much protection for the snipers and the supports that I think you really can't be giving away a lot of space on this Doomfist. Like, Minky has to be carrying the team on his back right now if he wants to get some effect in.
I think he wants to go on the Zen, but I just don't think he'll have an opportunity to. Oh, Danger Noodle finds the pick though.
Looks like Rebellion are gonna slightly pack up here, but a quick re-engage from Essel and Jesus. Unable to find a pick there, they're just gonna kind of stabilize around this corner. Just put in a lot of work with the ball. But does fall low, so he's able to get out. Lank as well falling to half. A stun onto Jesus. He's able to quickly get back. Yeah. Tank down for their side of the Rebellion. Sleep invested. I think this has got to clearly going to be in the side of the Plague. Meteor Strike looking for a pick here. Simply going to recover. I like that pick. Taking it slow. Understanding you have two minutes in the time bank. You just want to get around to this corner. Let Danger Noodle and Foliage get their work done.
And Essel's coming up on this Dragon Blade here.
Yeah, Mines finds one on Walrus. Essel finding two, and Link picking up Minky for the last trade. Is Sinexuki gonna be able to escape? Oh, he actually gets the pick onto Essel, and they're able to take a little bit of safety recovery. I do like that Rebellion are playing this far up, even though they're down a person. They're not gonna let Plague take this space very quickly. Yeah, Mickey over onto the Winston now instead of the Doom. Nano out, and they're gonna be able to take up two. Transcendence just comes in a little bit too late here, and they're gonna only use this Transcendence to just get the ball out. Eisen hopping over to the Hanzo instead of the Widow. Storm Arrow is going to be helpful to deal with this Winston that we see on the side of the Plague now, instead of the Doomfist. Coming on the ball to a quick contest, but a nice sleep. Nanoblade comes out. Rally in response. Able to pick up the kill onto the Brig. Eisen gets one. Issel comes up with two on the backline of the Plague here. Searching for this last kill onto Sinetsuki. He falls low, and yes, that'll be a last elimination onto the Ana of the Plague.
We are in last fight territory, and it seems the only ult online is the Hanzo Dragon. I don't know if that's gonna be enough to get it done.
Dragon does come out, able to zone them away from the bridge here, but Essel and Zerlin are just back right where they were. Nobody has a touch. Rebellion take the map once again. I feel like Philadelphia almost, like, they didn't really C9, but in essence they kind of did. Both on attack and defense. Yeah, there's a huge Nanoblade here for Essel, picking two up onto the Plague.
I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. After watching Philadelphia's defense there, for the first bit of third point there, they definitely seemed grounded, but after swaps came out on the side of war, they seemed to take that into their attack then. They definitely had a really bumpy start with the Life Weaver strat that they tried.
I think had it worked, it would have gone quite well, but unfortunately they messed up the timing on that one and weren't able to get over the top quite with the Rhine. But it just seemed like they were a little bit slower to figure out what they were doing once they messed up that initial strategy. Like they didn't really recover very quickly, and the ball of Rebellion were just able to like really disrupt that backline. Minky was spending a lot of time on the Doomfist, which I feel like was kind of hurting his double sniper composition. Kind of struggling to make space into that ball.
And now we have everyone's favorite game mode, Push. Honestly, I'm curious to see what these guys roll out on. Even though I feel like it's not most people's favorite game mode, there's definitely, you could run a variety of different things comp-wise on Push maps. That's what I'm curious to see what comes out here.
I'm not particularly surprised to see Zerlin and Essel back on the pharmacy here for the side of the Rebellion. I think it worked really well for them on Control Point and for King's Row for that Streets phase. I think that'll put in a lot of work here again. It's going to be up to Danger Noodle on the Ash to shut this down. I am kind of worried. It looks like Plague are running this dive composition here with the Doomfist and the Genji, but like looking at the side of the Rebellion, who are you really going after? Like the Hanzo maybe? There's not a lot of great targets.
I was gonna say Hanzo looks like it's gonna have to be their target.
Danger Noodle gets a pick on a Zerlin immediately. And it looks like this might just be the fight. Aizen gets caught out as well. And he gets picked. That's falling low as well. I think they just have to get out here. Yeah. Foliage able to take control of this bridge high ground. Aizen makes a swap over to the Ashe from the Genji, I believe. Yeah. With the Rebellion cooped up in this small room here, they gotta be able to do something. Forcing Foliage off this high ground will be a first step to winning. Essel is still putting in a lot of work. Minky is very, very low in the front line, but a nice biotic grenade will keep him up. Doomfist on the side of the Rebellion. He's very low. Able to get a pick on the Foliage though. 5v4 in the favor of the Rebellion. This is a very sloppy fight. Kind of just happening everywhere. Minky is looking for a pick onto Jesus here. Both Doomfists pretty low. Minky getting topped up by Sinatsuki here. Sinatsuki as well falls kind of low. Even though we didn't really see any eliminations here, just the Pharah is putting in so much work to create space. Nice stun onto Zerlin there, denies the res, and it looks like Plague are going to be up here. They're able to move quickly. Nice anti onto the back line, and Zerlin falls. Meteor Strike coming out for the side of the Rebellion. Doesn't find anybody. Lank falls kind of low in the back line. Aizen forced off. And Lank will fall. Gets traded out for Sinatsuki, however. Aizen falls as well, and Jesus falls as well. That'll be the fight for the Plague. Man, that was very scrappy, but
It was.
it seemed to be, how you say? I think the Plague, they got that first initial pick onto Essel, but they weren't able to capitalize on it due to the space that Doomfist was making for their team.
Now we have a lot of ults online here. We almost have Nano Blade for Philly. We do have the Barrage coming out and the Kitsune Rush for War.
Bob and Rally invested for the side of the Plague, but Danger Noodle gets picked very quickly. A Barrage gets one. Essel does fall. I'm wondering if they're going to go for a res here. Bob's off the board now. No, Essel does swaps over to the Genji. An interesting decision, but I think that since they aren't really making any progress here, a change might be what they need. Nanoblade invested here. Picks up Aizen. Looking for more. Lank is able to TP out at last second. Path invested, but they aren't able to use it. Foliage is able to get it really close. Nice anti-nade onto the Doomfist of the Rebellion. But a good Suzu from Lank keeps them up. Lank actually gets a pick onto Danger Noodle here. But Walrus is able to take off Essel. Over into the small room now. The Doomfists are kind of just warring it out. But with numbers going on the side of the Plague, it looks like they're going to be able to stabilize and just take the bot back. Ooh, that was intense. Lank is able to escape with his life here, running back to Zerlin on the low ground. And Foley is just kind of holding the space. They're going for a quick aggressive engage. Nice dynamite from the side of the Rebellion. Doom Punch, both exchange. Meteor Strike comes out for the side of the Rebellion. She's looking for a pick here. Jumps onto the back. Finds Sinatsuki, but he's nice stun. And Minky finds Aizen while this is going on. A Bob invested from Aizen here. It really helps protect this corner of finding Minky. They are in a 5v4, but the Rebellion are just posturing so aggressively here. And Zerlin in a lot of trouble here. Lank as well, falling low. Oh, and a pick out from Sinatsuki. Nice nade. Jesus as well, able to escape with his life. Aizen falls once again to Sinatsuki, coming up with another huge nade. Essel is in the backline, forces Danger Noodle off this high ground, but it's not really going to help them since they're already losing the fight. Backline falls to Minky here. Aizen makes the swap over to the Tracer to maybe just give himself a little bit more survivability here. Raleigh and Meteor Strike can get traded out here. Anti-nade onto the Doomfist of Jesus. Zerlin is able to make it out. Foliage actually getting caught out a little bit here. Able to deflect and just sort of walk away. Minky falls kind of low. Danger will get able to get a pick, but they do lose the Doomfist here. Nanoblade invested. This has to be huge. They find Zerlin. They're looking for a pick onto Jesus as well. He falls really, really low, but he's able to escape. Actually turns around and gets a kill onto Foliage. Walrus able to pick up the kill onto Essel here. And they're able to stabilize, taking this high ground with the Ashe. Suzu invested. Bob comes out from the side of the Plague, but Danger Noodle falls. They do have the numbers here, especially with the Bob. Aizen's able to get back into the fight on the Tracer quickly. Sinatsuki falls. Minky's like caught out on this point. He's doing all the work for the Plague over here. And Jesus in the backline finds Jesus finds a pick onto Minky on the cart. And they're just able to run it down here. Finding a pick onto Walrus. Danger Noodle trying his best to get a pick here. It looks like they will finally be able to stabilize here. Wow,
that was
I
the
feel like
longest
for
fight.
4 minutes. Nice pick onto Foliage here. And all 5 ults coming up for the Rebellion. This needs to be a huge push here. Pulse Bomb onto Sinatsuki is able to contain it. Danger Noodle does find Aizen though. 1-for-1 trade. I do think they just need to ensure the bot gets back here. Once they can take the lead, I think the Rebellion will be in a nice spot. You just strike out from Minky. Falls low. Essel does pop the blade here. Nano invested. He's able to get one. Zerlin does fall and Lank. So no supports for the side of the Rebellion, but they're able to just clean up the backline a little bit faster and to convert that to the lead.
I did like the Tracer swap from Aizen. I wanted to see that come out just because I feel like if they go in hard on Philadelphia's backline, even with the break, I just don't think there's enough peel to stop Doom, Tracer, and Genji.
Yeah, with some nice coordination, they'll just get rid of this Ana or the Ashe. I think as a Brig, you can't really keep both up, so you just try to find whoever isn't with the Brig and get that elimination. Foliage out here on the cart, alone. Rally invested, huge anti-nade comes in, but the Meteor Strike is able to cleanse. Leap onto Foliage, and he's able to trade with Aizen, but does fall for that. The rally is expired here, and there just looks like the Plague have to get out here. They are down to yeah, I think this has to be huge Nano Blade from Foliage. He needs to come up big on this. Zerlin's able to get a pick onto Foliage here. Minky falls to Essel. But it's not enough. No ultimates invested on the side of the Plague. And they're just getting staggered here. Minky being held in spawn.
Their win condition here really is the Blade. I kind of, even though she is close to Bob, I kind of want to see her Bob and then swap just because I don't know what the Ashe can do to help against this comp that War's running.
Nice Dynamite comes out. Nanoblade invested. Gets Zerlin. Huge pick. Foliage comes up with 2 on the back line. Aizen falls as well. Comes up with 3. And it's team fight very swiftly in the favor of the Plague. Only 2 ults invested there. Path from Lank, but that was it from the side of the Rebellion. With only 45 seconds left, it has to be a huge push from the flank. Or sorry, from the Plague. This has to be a nice Bob from Danger Noodle here to win this fight very quickly. They can't spend a lot of time on this one. Foliage gets caught out. And sleep onto Minky. 2 in the favor of the Rebellion. Lank picks up Danger Noodle in the backline. Aizen falls low, but he's able to be topped up as Essel falls a pick onto Walrus, and Jesus finds a pick onto Sinatsuki. Honestly, I would say don't push the bot here.
Off the bot, yeah.
They are going to run it in. Interesting choice. With the Nano Blade here, that should be a fight one, but we'll see how this ends up. Meteor Strike from Minky here. Yep. Here comes the Nano Blade from the side of the Rebellion. Picks up 2 and 3, and that'll be it. Rebellion take the win here on Esperanca taking the 3-1 victory. Yeah, well done from both teams here, but it seemed like the Rebellion kind of just had a leg up on them every step of the way.
Yeah, there's definitely some good back and forth, but they definitely got the better of them. I honestly, I really think the Tracer swap did wonders for them, because even if the Tracer wasn't constantly finding picks, just the pressure and the extra survivability that Tracer's mobility offers, I think really kind of is when it flipped for War, when they started to gain the upper hand.
Yeah, I think Aizen really did clean up his positioning after that King's Row match, which helped Rebellion just keep the pressure onto Plague and put them in a box where they wanted them with that pharmacy comp. And just able to close it out in a nice, convincing fashion. Alright, this will be it for tonight, folks. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.